Alright, here's something I picked up yesterday when I was making a trip to Sackville. Went to Garnet Rogers concert in Sackville, New Brunswick. Stepped across the border for a couple minutes just to visit an NSLC. Found this sitting there. This is something we don't get in New Brunswick, and according to Canadian Beer News, this is something actually brand new that they released on Thursday of last week, on June 17th. This one is Alexander Keith's Ambrosia Blonde. According to Canadian Beer News and the press release from Alexander Keith, Ambrosia Blonde is the third all-malt Alexander Keith seasonal beer brewed at the Halifax Brewery. To those who don't know, the Alexander Keith has been doing like a Brewmaster series lately, where they had last fall they had a Harvest Ale, which was more like an Oktoberfest, I believe. And they had similar to an Oktoberfest, but not quite, because an Oktoberfest is a lager, blah blah blah. They had a tartan ale, which is more like a Scotch ale apparently. And they just released this one, Ambrosia Blonde, which I'll read the description here. It says, the Keith's Brewmaster has used a blend of Canadian barley and caramel malt to create a beer with a warm color and a smooth malty taste. The addition of noble hop varieties, including Saaz and Hallertau, in addition to the floral Willamette hops, creates a beer with a moderate bitterness and a pleasant floral hop aroma. This beer is also aged longer to ensure a crisp, clean taste that is balanced with a slightly fruity character developed during fermentation. So yeah, given that description, they don't really come out right and say it, but it sounds to me like maybe like a Pilsner, like a traditional German or Bavarian style Pilsner, or Bohemian style Pilsner. From the sounds of it, if they use that much malt, they probably made it a little bit more malt heavy than your typical Pilsner. But I'm about to give it a try and take a look. So yeah, I just went in and I picked this thing up, just thinking, hey look, that looks cool, I want to see something new. I get it home and find out it was only released 2 days before. So I'm kind of impressed. Let's see. It says our Brewmaster's latest limited release, Ambrosia Blonde, is a deep golden medium body brew which delivers a captivating aroma and distinct flavorful taste. Slightly hoppy with hints of caramel, it is aged longer for a crisp finish, perfect on those warm days. So that's probably why they want to release that in the summer. I think the other reason is that given that Alexander Keith these days is a Labatt product, it almost seems like Alexander Keith is treating Labatt is treating Alexander Keith like Molson treats its Rickards division, just like a craft brew-ish kind of branding, which is okay, sort of. Given that this is actually a very storied brand out here in these parts. Alexander Keith started a long time ago, 1820, brewing, first the India Pale Ale that they've become famous for, and infamous for in certain circles. I'd say give them credit because they've been brewing under the India Pale Ale name for like centuries, but whatever, that's a different story altogether. So let's give this thing a pour and see if it actually looks blonde. Fit that whole can in there. If I give us a bit of one finger head, it's actually quite dark for a Pilsner or a blonde. That actually looks kind of dark. What's the ABV on this? 5.2 ABV. Yeah, if you can see that in the camera, look at it like it's almost an orange golden. That's a lot darker than I was kind of expecting, but that might come from being a bit more malt heavy. I mean, probably is. Anyway, let's give it a sniff. The hop aroma is rather faint. They advertise it having a floral hop aroma, but it's very similar to, well, it is sort of a Saaz hop aroma like you would find on Pilsner Urquell, or even in like certain other brews. But really, it smells like a mixture of corn pops and like a hint of caramel malt. There's almost no smell coming off of that beer at all. Like, I don't detect any kind of floral aroma. Maybe a hint of it. I'll take another look at it when it's down a little bit. So, appearances, I actually kind of like the look of it, but it's not like befitting of a Pilsner. But it's not really well advertised on this thing whether it's actually supposed to be a Pilsner or just treated as a blonde. It doesn't even specify anywhere on this brew whether it's a lager or an ale. But I'm willing to bet it's a lager. So let's give it a taste. Wow, that's different. Where they said it was very malt heavy, I see that now. It's got quite a bit of flavor in it. It's still light, like a lighter, medium to light beer. But it comes with a burst of grainy malt flavors, like you can pick up of almost like you can pick caramel malts out of that, and you can pick up almost like a somewhat fruity taste in the back, and you can pick up the Saz hops in the back as well. A slight lingering bitterness in the back of the tongue. That slightly fruity taste comes in. It tastes almost like white grapes or something. It's just, it's there, almost conjoined with the bitterness. It's not as crisp as they were advertising though. Like, they were said that they were aging this particular beer and saying that that makes it crisper. It's not very crisp, and that kind of, given the taste of this beer, I almost lean towards thinking that it's an ale of some sort, using noble hops. It's not very, like, it's got a medium to light body, but it's not very, like, crisp or clean. And it's got a very North American hop character to it. I mean, there's hints of hop flavors, of like noble hop flavors, but it tastes more like it's like North American style hops, where they're more like an IPA-ish kind of, like slight hints of grapefruit and white grape mixed in. And it kind of tastes like how, you know, floral hop would probably taste. You know, it's, maybe that's what they mean by floral. Tastes like floral hops. And it's got hints of grains and corn coming out in the back. But mainly it's that semi-mild grapefruit. Like, it's not a very bitter beer, but that bitterness in the back gives a very grapefruit, fruity kind of taste. Yeah, I think I'm going to sit down with this one for a few minutes and come up with some thoughts. Alright, so what did I think of Ambrosia Blonde? Well, it's got a nice malty flavor. Like a definite mixture of like fruity and caramel malts, as well as like a nice, gentle, mild, bitter hop kind of taste to it. Throughout the drinking of the whole beer, it just ended up being rather like on the pleasing side, but very different. Definitely not a Pilsner. Even though what its description kind of makes it sound like. This is kind of like a beer all on its own, but I'm not 100% certain if it's an absolutely fantastic beer or not. It's different, and I would recommend it based on that, because they were trying to come up with something that's like a different, like a decent kind of different kind of brew. So based on that merit, I mean, it's got some technical merit to it. I'm gonna give it a yeah, heck, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5, because it's definitely worth checking out. And but I mean, don't go into it thinking, hey, it's a blonde. It's gonna be like Rickard's blonde. It's gonna be a Pilsner kind of beer. It's not. It's far from it. And once you take a swig of this beer, you'll find out that it's like, what the hell is this? So don't go into it thinking it's a Pilsner, because it's not. But it's definitely got some, it's different. And I don't know exactly how to explain it other than it's just a nicely malty beer. And it's not, I wouldn't say like a hot summer day would be something good for this typical this type of beer, because it's not as crisp as they advertise. But it's definitely worth like a 7 out of 10 or 3.5 out of 5. So it's, yeah, definitely try it if you want to if you find it interesting based on the description. So yeah, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer reviews, and don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.